Hey everyone, I'm back. We are on for some yoga, which is different for our Sundays, but I figure it's a different time anyway. And oh gosh, my body definitely needs some yoga. So here we are. We'll keep it super, super mellow today. I'm thinking shoulders, and my legs are super sore too. So I feel like these two areas we'll kind of focus on a little bit more. If you have anything that you'd like to work, whether it's strength related or stretch related, just give me a quick shout. Otherwise, if you're watching on IGTV or YouTube later, at any point in time, you can always comment and also, request something for next time. Hey, Nora. So that's what we got today. The music today will totally just be background, so no need to have that added element of going to the beat this morning. We'll keep it nice and chill, nice and mellow. And as we're headed toward the end of October, as I mentioned a couple classes ago, maybe, we will do sort of like a weekly mellow accessible yoga stretching type of class, just so that if sometimes you go into a class and it's just super overwhelming and you're struggling to just simply survive, it'll be a way to really just dip our toes into flexibility, into range of motion, into things like that. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let's just start in a comfortable seat. And it's so funny having like slightly more open hips. I think it's like generally a blessing, but what I noticed just from my climbing trip is that I do a lot of like froggy open style toward the wall, even like in places where you're like, this is really not ideal, but sort of my body just wants to go in that fashion. So I'm just warning you. All right, a side effect might be always wanting to do these hip openers. All right, so your right leg crossed in front of your left to start. Let's just relax our arms down on our legs, on our lap, and then close down your eyes. Settle yourself down into your mat, into your seat, into your body, into your breath. And what I notice always is when I start in this position, I lean forward a little bit. If that's you as well, for me it's excitement, I want to get into it. But if you feel that as well, I have to make that adjustment of slightly leaning back, so I'm stacked, right? Neck over shoulders over hips. And then we'll just find a couple of slow, deep breaths here. In through your nose, lengthen, get tall without hinging forward. And on your exhale, stay tall. Start to actively relax your brow. Soften your cheeks, your jaw. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. And we'll do that again. Full deep inhale. And long, slow exhale. Your next inhale, open your eyes, and we'll keep this right leg crossed in front of our left. Start to just walk your hands forward in front of you. Maintain your long spine. This is your first one, so it might feel a little bit not very accessible just quite yet, and that's totally fine. As you extend your arms long, feel your chest open, your crown of your head lengthen forward. While you sit, heavy your hips back down toward the floor. Good. And we'll take one more breath here. So lengthen, go open your chest. I had said we're going to put music on, but I just left it out. So I'll leave it out then. And exhale, hinge a little bit deeper. Good. And since our right leg is crossed in front of our left, we'll just start to walk these arms over to our left-hand side. So it feels like this right arm, upper arm best you can above your elbow, is just going toward your left knee. Now notice my spine is kind of rounded right now. See if you can just a little bit lift up taller. It's not going to be like this perfectly straight spine, but I do want you to find a lift so there's more space in your front body and not just collapsing down. All right. And then we'll hold. See if you can maintain that length best you can. One more breath. Lengthen, and everything is just what your body is able to do at this moment. Exhale, see if you can sit your right butt cheek back down toward the floor a little heavier. Good, and then from this place, we'll keep our left hand at our side, push into your palm, and then move into a side body stretch so your right side body is nice and long. Hey, Karen. Feel your side body stretch, your fingertips all the way down through your hip. Beautiful line, beautiful stretch. And think on your inhale, you lift on your left hand side, not to sink. Exhale, reach your right arm a little bit longer. Actively stretch. One more time. Inhale, lift, lengthen. And maybe on your exhale, you even rotate your chest, lengthen out a little bit farther, drop your right hip down. Good, and then gently return your right arm, lean back, switch out your legs, left leg in front of your right. And we'll do a couple of cat-cows here. Inhale, both arms up high toward the ceiling. Inhale, go open your chest, draw your arms back, squeeze your blades. And then exhale, think about separating your blades, hollow out through your chest, relax your shoulders down. Again, inhale, go open your chest, really articulate that motion here. Exhale, go round. Think about your up back, doing a lot of movement. Yep, best you can. Inhale, go open your chest, squeeze your blades. Good. And exhale, go round hollow. Separate your blades best you can. One more time. Inhale, go open your chest. Draw your arms back. Exhale, go round. Good. Your next inhale, just arms up, spine neutral. You can start to walk your hands down, lengthen out through your spine. And I feel a little bit more with our left leg crossed in front of our right. I feel a little bit more stretch in the outside of my left hip here. So extend your arms. Again, it might not be super, super deep. That's totally fine. We're just finding our diagnostic little test here to see how we're doing this morning. All this stretching is just encouraging. We're never forcing, right? Just little bit as you extend your arms. Think about that opposition of sitting your hips back just a bit farther. Good, let's take one more breath here. Make it active so you lengthen, open your chest, feel like your front body is very long. And then exhale, melt your hips back farther. Maybe you inch your fingers out just a bit more. Good, and we'll stay down low. Since our left leg is crossed in front, we'll start to crawl this left arm toward our right knee. And again, naturally, your spine will want to round on you. See if you, best you can, you do a little bit of a lift up. So you're lifted before you're twisted, all right? And then find how that feels. Open your chest, stay relatively long. Good, sit your left butt cheek back down toward the floor. And we'll take one more breath here. Inhale, lengthen, open your chest. Exhale, find that deep hinge. Sit your hips back a little bit farther. Good. From this place, our right hand is already kind of here. Just bring it a little bit closer to your right hip, and we'll start to open up into a side body stretch. So really lengthen here. So you lift up on your right hand side. Exhale, reach your left arm up and over. Maybe you peek up at your fingers. One more time, then inhale, lift. And on your exhale, you can rotate your chest forward more and maybe draw your left arm closer to your side as opposed to in front of you. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Good. And gently lift yourself up. Super. We'll lean back and then bring the soles of your feet together. Let's bring our hands to the tops of our feet. Lift your chest up nice and tall and start to hinge. For me, it's pretty accessible to use my elbows, help push into my legs. If this doesn't work for you, try experimenting with how far your heels are in. And you can gently press, it might be pressing into your inner thighs, whatever feels a little bit more natural. And then just notice here your spine might want to round like this, which will still give you a good hip opener, but just to encourage kind of better habits, maybe we lengthen a little bit more even here. So then it's almost like by default, your body never thinks to go like this, or knows the moment it goes like this to kind of adjust, find some length. So there's never sort of this feeling of it's okay or normal to kind of just completely slouch, right? Really allow your body to find your long spine as your normal, and gently, gently encourage your elbows to press into your inner thighs, into your calves, wherever it is, to open up your hips. We'll take one more breath here. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, maintain that, and then hinge a little bit deeper. And I find that when I'm going a little bit deeper, maybe my elbows have to come forward of my legs, and that's just fine too. Just like you would in a forward fold, there's that bit of like a tilt back of your tailbone, like almost like a sticking out to tilt back and then up toward the ceiling. You want to find that here as well. It is probably the case that you won't end up overarching unless your hips are super, super open already. So just finding that in your head, that tilting action of your tail might help us elongate our spine just a little bit more. And again, it's a rare situation where you end up in a backward bend. That might be a great problem to have though. I can't wait till I have that problem one day. All right. And then from here, we'll maintain this angle and see if we can extend these arms. All right, so extend your arms up. So now you're having to maintain the openness of your hips. You start to engage here through your core, strong spine. And then maintaining this, take an inhale, reach out through your fingers even longer, reach out through your arms even longer. And then on your exhale, pull, palms face down, hug your arms, elbows in, squeeze, right? Still lift them up, hug your elbows in. Do it again, inhale, go lengthen out. So you still again maintain your hinged position, hips back. And go pull elbows in and down. This kind of mirrors what we've been doing this week. A lot of this pull back lat action. Inhale, go lengthen, reach, extend, and maintain that hinge. Even if you can, go a little bit deeper and go pull down. We just have one more. Inhale, go reach. Nice. And pull elbows in and down. Really nice. From this place, we'll again maintain this hinge, maintain your right arm in that place. We'll take this left hand and slap it back, right? So it's like you're patting the wall behind you. Maintain that 90 degree, keep the height of your elbow. And then we'll switch. So left hand goes up, right hand pushes back. Good. And do it again. So just getting a nice rotation for our shoulders. And then check your wrists. Don't start to cock one way or the other. They're fairly neutral. Yep. And last time, switch it. Again, neutral wrists. Push your right palm back behind you. Excellent. And then return your right hand arm back to its place. Squeeze your blades once again. Open up through your chest. Inhale, reach, extend, arms up. This is almost like a chair position, right? Except with our hip opener. And then inhale, arms go all the way up, upright your spine. Very good. And push it out, right, left, lower down. Shoulders feel nice and open. We'll continue on from there. Maintain your Baddha Konasana here. Inhale, arms go all the way up high toward the ceiling. And let's just do a nice, easy open arm twist to our right. Good. Inhale, arms go all the way up high toward the ceiling. We'll do a nice open arm twist to our left. Super, super nice and chill. Good. Again, inhale, arms go all the way up high toward the ceiling. And open arm twist to our right. See if we can take this right arm, this right hand, wrap it around your back. And then take your left hand to grab your right wrist and then pull it even more out to the front of your body. See if your right fingers then can hook to your left hip area, and then twist a little bit deeper. Right? One more breath. Lift your chest up tall. So you can grab, inch your fingers out a little bit more toward your inner thigh and twist. Good. Gently let go. Inhale, arms go all the way up high toward the ceiling. Lift. Start with just that open arm twist. Go twist. And again, you want to stay long, especially we're going from one side to the other. Stay long. And then we'll take this left hand, wrap it around our back. See if you can inch your fingers toward your right inner thigh. And then take your right hand, maybe grab a hold of your left wrist, help encourage it for a better grip even. Yeah, exactly. We'll take a breath. Inhale, lift up super tall. Stay tall. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Use this hand against your inner thigh to draw your left shoulder back, open up through your chest a little bit more. Good. Gently, gently let go. Inhale, arms go all the way up. And then push it out, right, left, lower it down. Good. Let's cross at these ankles and then move our way up into just a tabletop is perfect. And we'll go into just a little bit of strengthening for our hips. So once you're in tabletop, your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath our hips. From here, I'm gonna give myself some space. Pick up your right leg out to the right, all right? So once your foot leaves the floor, flex it and then just lift. That's perfect, exactly. And then circle this right leg all the way back behind you. So you're now square. Your right top of thigh faces the floor, right sole of foot faces the ceiling. And then keeping your right knee up there, we return again to that open hip. So maintain the 90 degrees. Yep, you can see your right leg 90 degrees. And then again, square it up. Right knee cap faces the floor. Right sole of foot faces the ceiling. Good, twice more. Good, open up your hips. Right knee out to the right. Flex your foot. And return to a square position. Maintain the height of your right knee. Push your chest away still. You're very strong. Square it up. And last time, go right knee out to the right. Good. Good flossing. And take it all the way back and up. Right sole of foot faces the ceiling. Good. From this place, kickstand your left foot out to the left. Bring your right hand up off of the floor, point your right toes, grab a hold of your right foot ankle. This kickstand back behind you should help stabilize. Move your heel away from your butt. Take your time. I feel like a little wobbly this morning, so I'm moving definitely a little slower. Kick your heel away, open up your chest, let your right shoulder get pulled back behind you. And then see if you might be able to maybe look past your right shoulder. Kick your heel away, open your chest, kick, kick, kick. All right, very good. Now gently lose the kick, maintain your balance, lower your right hand down, return your left foot into its place, and then take your left hand around, reach for your right foot. Same thing, kick your heel away, open your chest. So push into your right palm, kick into your hand, and allow your left shoulder to get drawn back behind you. Yes. Look for your left toe, or right toes, I'm sorry. Kick, 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 one more time. Kick, separate your heel from your hip. And gently, gently return. Left hand down. Again, right knee out to the right. Flex your right foot. Last thing here, keep your knee where it is. Straighten out your right leg. Bend it again, bend. And I notice like all my weight wants to shift to the left. Keep it square, go straighten out your right leg. Yes, and bend it again, bend. Twice more only, okay? Keep the height of your right knee. And go straighten. Great. And bend again. Last time and go. Straighten. Nice, and bend again. Let's lower this right knee down. And we'll walk ourselves out just to a quick puppy stretch. So your knees are right underneath your hips. Extend your arms forward. And allow your chest just to melt for a little bit. Forehead to the floor. If you prefer, go ahead, bring your chin to the floor. I'm just not quite ready for that yet. If your chin is to the floor and you feel ready for more, you can tent out your fingers as well so your wrists are elevated and you should feel even more stretch. You can do that even with your forehead on the floor. That might feel nice, like opening, stretching out through your armpits. Exhale it out. Take one more breath here. Exhale it out. Good, gently, gently. If you tented, press your palms into the floor. push yourself up off the floor. We move back into that tabletop. So let's switch the sides. Check again, your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. From this place, pick up your left knee out to your left, flex your foot upon it, leaving. That's it. And then keep the height of your left knee, circle this guy all the way back and up. Left knee faces the floor, sole of your foot faces the ceiling. Continue to push your chest away. Good, let's floss it again, take it out to your left. Good. Keep that height. And then keep the height as you circle it square, sole of your foot faces the ceiling. Good, 2 more. Push your chest away. Go circle it out. If you're flexing hard, you're strongly engaging, it's totally normal. And then take it all the way up, back and up, to feel maybe your hamstrings start to even cramp on you, right? Lift your sole of your foot to face the ceiling. Good, and then last time here, keep the height of your left knee, circle it out to the left. Nice, breathe, breathe, and take yourself all the way back and up. Nice. From this place, let's start to kickstand the right foot out to the right. And then lift your left hand up, point your left toes, grab a hold of your left foot ankle, and then kick your heel away. It's easy to dump into this right hand. I want you to push so you stay light, and then move your heel away from your hip, open your chest. And if this still feels good to you, start to look past your left fingers, your left shoulder, and hopefully that kickstand again provides you with some stability. So if your foot right now is still square, just like in tabletop, kickstand it out to the right a little bit more for more stability, like a tripod-ish situation, even though it's only 2 pods, isn't it? No, it's 3, your knee and your foot and your hand. All right, from here, gently let go. Lower your left hand down, return your right foot back to its place. We'll take this left hand lifted up off the floor, reach for your left foot. Good, once you grab a hold, you see my heel is so close with my hip to grab, you can totally drop your knee down in order to grab your foot like that as well. And I have a little hamstring cramp, so I'm gonna stretch it out real quick. But if you don't have that, kick your heel away, open up your chest. And then think about creating a lot more space, right? So not only are you pushing into your left palm, creating some lift right there in your chest, in your hips, you kick and open up this space, your heel away from your butt, your right shoulder pulled back as well. Maybe you look past your right shoulder for your left toes, kick out. One more time. Yes, and gently let go. Lower your right hand down, flex your left foot, and send it out to your left once again. Again, just in this balance, I feel my weight naturally want to shift all the way over to my right side. Try best you can to even it out, center yourself out. Okay, maintain the height of your left knee. Go kick. Yes. And bend it again, go bend. Nice big hip opener. And kick, go. Kick. Yes, and go bend. 2 more times, push your chest away. Go kick. Nice. And bend, go bend. Last time, go kick. And then go bend. Let's square it and lower it down toward the floor. Good, from here we'll do another puppy stretch. So see how this feels your second round as you extend your arms forward. Maybe you are able to, you don't have to, again, you just assess what your body's giving you. Maybe you're able to lower your chin closer to the floor. Just notice the moment you lift your head up, it's really easy to start to look up with your brow rather than just your eyes. So just notice that if you start to feel like your wrinkles across your forehead, start to soften that and be able to start to look with your eyes and not with your forehead, if that makes sense. All right, so soften your face best you can as you allow your chest to melt. And that's easier said than done, by the way, so don't worry if it feels impossible to do on the onset. Again, your option also of tenting out through your fingers. Good. Well, we give our hips a little bit of a rest. We're going to slide ourselves all the way down to the floor real quick. And remember the stuff that we did in the very beginning. We're going to find ourselves in goalpost with both arms. So find 90-90, you check it out. And you can keep your legs like hip width apart. Take a deep inhale, and then lift your chest up off the floor, your arms up off the floor, just in your goalpost position. And notice, at least for me, I tend to do this if I'm not thinking about it. Keep your wrists straight and just think about lifting through your chest, squeeze your blades. Gently lower yourself down. Think of a straight up lift as opposed to squeeze back, just to start. And again, inhale, go lift yourself up, go lift, open your chest. Again, relax your brow and gently lower yourself down. Inhale, go lift, lift. Nice, and lower down. We're gonna hold this last one, okay? Press your legs, your feet strong into the floor. Go inhale, lift. And this one, hug your elbows in. Feel that deep squeeze. Yup, exactly. And then return to goalpost and squeeze. It's a small range of motion. Goalpost, go squeeze. And return to goalpost, go squeeze. Maybe you lift your chest one more time. And goalpost, go squeeze. Lift your elbows up. Return to goalpost and gently return all the way down to the floor. Very good. We'll keep our left arm in the same place as you have it. So it's still the goalpost situation. And then just check right here the space that you have, if there is any. You want to close that off between your shoulder to the floor, chest to the floor, best you can. You have that 90-degree angle, you double check. And then place your right palm close to your chest and gently, gently start to push into your right palm. Allow this right leg to kind of swing back behind you. And if you find that it's super easy to kind of lift, just notice it is likely the case that this left shoulder has popped up off of the floor, right? So I find that when I move really, really kind of slower, I can, as I'm pushing, kind of scoot my left elbow out so I can maintain best I can contact to the floor. So push into your right palm, and you shouldn't need to push too much to feel a whole lot. Good. And allow your body to settle here. Sort of, it's like when you go into a posture, it's really easy to kind of be like, okay, we're here now, what's the next thing? Give yourself a little bit of time and really allow yourself to enjoy this current stretch, your deep, full breath. Let your body start to relax into this place, soften into this place. So each time it feels more and more familiar rather than like a foreign hit and run each time. One more breath, inhale. See if you can, on your exhale, push into your right palm just a little bit more. And gently release. We're going to continue on with this left arm. Let's see. From here, we're going to flip around, actually. So now that you're lying on your right hand side, take your left arm. So it's still going to be your left arm, the one that you just stretched out, your chest, your shoulder. You'll take your elbow to face down, crawl your fingers up your back. All right, so it'll look like this with your left arm. Crawl your fingers up your back so you're getting closer and closer to your right shoulder. Right, so this means, again, you're lying down on your right hand side, your left fingers crawl up your back. Once you're there, your fingers are as high up on your right shoulder, toward your right shoulder as possible. Spread out your 5 fingers and then very slowly lie down on top. So now you have the weight of your body over your left arm. And because of this angle, I'm flipped around. It looks like my right arm, but we're still just working this left arm the same. So You decide, experiment around with whether your legs are bent or straight. If your legs are straight, it is not likely this case, but it tends to be the case that there's like kind of sometimes an aggressive arch underneath your spine. And if it feels okay, natural, normal, then great, stay right there. If you're like, ooh, I know what you're saying, and I feel this aggressive rainbow underneath my arch, totally bend up your legs. That should help soften your spine down a little bit heavier toward the floor. And then another thing is, if you feel like you thought you were at your maximum when you initially put your fingers up toward your shoulder, but you feel like you have more also, leave everything as is and start to windshield wipe your hips away from you. So as you move your knees right and left, your arm stays in place, but your body is starting to shift toward your feet. So theoretically, if it all works out, your fingers are closer to your shoulder because you've moved your shoulder closer to your fingers that are underneath you. Continue to spread your palm out, your fingers out wide underneath, and continue to soften this left shoulder. Right? Sometimes it feels like it's a little bit awkward in this position, kind of heavy with your body weight over, but that's actually exactly what we want. We're using the prop of the floor to help us be in this position, because sometimes when we try to do it on our own, gravity is so real. And also just like if our arm is sort of a little bit reluctant to move into this position, the floor really helps us kind of stay there and train it to go a little bit deeper, or at least be in the position for a while at least. All right. As your added option, your right arm, you can bring it by your ear, and you bend your arm such that your right elbow is towards your head, and you maybe can reach your fingers, match your fingers. And then maybe, I really do feel like for me, it's on a case-to-case, day-by-day basis, moment-to-moment basis, whether or not I can get this tricep stretch, whether my head can plant on my arm in just the right way. And then once you've set yourself up wherever you are, remember, it doesn't need to look like mine. It doesn't need to be both arms. Do allow yourself some time where you're not, again, just sort of like holding a position and waiting for it to be over, but really truly softening in with every breath, right? Not super worried about time. Really allow your body to soften with every breath. And use every breath to sort of serve as a purposeful, intentful way to soften your body, to allow your body to deepen into your stretch. Feel free to again experiment with your leg situation, bent or straight. And as we near the end of our time in this place, do one last scan of your body, starting with the top of your head, your brow even, relax. Your face, your cheeks, relax. As that trickles down, you scan that from your neck to your left shoulder, to your right shoulder. Soften, soften, soften. When you directly tell your body to soften, it's incredible, because just right now I thought I was already kind of in a relaxed state, but when I deliberately was like, okay, go soften your left shoulder, it relaxed a little bit more. I didn't know that there was more to let go, but there certainly was. And then continue that scan through your chest, through your belly, through your spine, right? If it's super, super tense, in a defensive position, start to gently, gently soften. Feel free to bend your legs to help that situation. Your hips, relax. Your thighs. Your knees, your calves. Your ankles, your feet. One more breath. Full deep inhale. And long, slow exhale.
Good. First, let's start to gently straighten out our right arm, so the arm that gets freed up top. And then gently roll over to your right side by pushing into your left sole of foot. So if your left leg was straight, bend it. Push into the left sole of your foot to roll over to your right hand side, and then gently free out your left arm. Take on any shape, circles, whatever you need to do. When you initially let it go, it'll be like so unwilling to move, but you gently start to bring it back with some circles. They can be big movements, smaller movements, faster or slower, depending on what serves you better, what feels a little bit better, and that's totally up to you, up to your body. All right. Whenever you're ready with that, you do not have to be ready just at this moment. I'm just going to set up just for our other side. So right arm now. We'll start with our chest opener, our stretch through this right hand side. So we'll find goalpost with this right arm. All right, so check it out. Again, it's 90, so you check your elbow in line with shoulder and then hand in line with elbow. And remember, when you go super quickly, it's very likely that your right shoulder just pops up. So I like to move a little bit slower with your left hand close with your chest. As I sort of tilt into this right side, shift into this right side, I scoot my elbow along. So I close up any little bits of space as I can as I roll over to my right hand side. And then if you feel like you can push like a ton into your left palm, I would just do a little bit of checking in to see if your right shoulder is totally popped up off of the floor. So in this position, you shouldn't need to push a whole lot into your left palm for you to feel a bunch in your chest, in your shoulder. And even with this, let's make use of our breath. All of these adjustments, breath by breath, don't necessarily need to be big. In fact, they'll probably be quite small, and you might not even like see them, but you should maybe feel them. So inhale, you breathe deep. Your exhale, see if you can let go, push into your left palm just a hair more. And inhale, breathe deep. Exhale, see if you can push into your left palm, very, very gentle, to increase that stretch, that opening through your chest, shoulder. Good. Let's gently unwind this. And we're continuing on with this right arm, yes? So we're just going to do a quick roll over, however you like to do it. Your left arm, extend it bicep by ear. You'll take your right arm, elbow facing down toward your hip, and start to crawl your right fingers up toward your left shoulder. And as I sit up, it'll look like it's my left arm, but you just want to crawl the best that you can to get yourself set up, right? So find yourself in your best setup. If it helps to take your other hand to your elbow and move it there, move your elbow up higher, do it. But I feel like that sometimes even takes a little bit of flexibility. But the main reason for this, you want to nudge it as high as possible, is just so that when you roll onto your back, you don't have to do so much more adjustment on that second adjustment, right? So you want to get to your place, your initial setup, as deep as possible to start. So less adjustment later. Once you have your best effort placement, spread your 5 fingers out wide and very carefully, slowly start to roll onto your back. And especially for me, my right side just tends to be a little bit tighter. So I like that initial setup to be as deep as possible. Otherwise, it's so easy for then me to just roll over and for nothing to happen. You want to feel something, especially if you're right dominant as well. You might feel quite a bit at a lesser angle than your other arm. And that's just fine, right? We're going to be asymmetrical, and that's totally fine. Experiment with your legs bent or straight. I would say that if you feel like your right shoulder is very like almost like defensive feeling right now, like very unwilling, probably bent legs will be like a better option. It'll just feel slightly more comfortable, and because you'll feel slightly more comfortable, your body might be slightly more willing to play along. So if you want to set it up kind of a little bit comfortably, so your body will be more willing. Okay. And by the way, if this is your max, that's great, right? Do not feel like you have to continue to adjust, but you'll know, right? If you feel like, oh, it's like, kind of there, but I feel like I can do a little bit more and nothing hurts, you're just maybe feeling something, but you can maybe do a little bit more, then, of course, if you would like, try to do an adjustment, right? So your arm stays exactly in the same place. All we're doing is shuffling our body, shimmying our hips farther down toward our heels, right? So as you do this windshield wipe, you let your knees drop to the right, to the left. And what I notice is actually my right elbow picks up. So instead of my elbow kind of super far out, it's more like sort of moving closer to my center line. My hand stays in the same place. It's really my elbow that changes the positioning closer to my center line. So now it feels like the angle in my right arm is more at like an acute angle, even tighter angle. All right. So whenever you're done with an adjustment, take a couple moments just to reset, settle yourself back into your body. Take your time to breathe, to slow things down. And after a couple of breaths, after a couple of moments, if you still feel like you can adjust some more, totally go for it. So we do an adjustment, we pause, breathe, feel how it feels. Once your body's like, okay, no more adjustments, then you're great. You stay in that place. When you ask your body again, do you have any more in you? And it says yes, then by all means, shimmy your way down even farther, right? So not that this adjustment thing is like never ending. To a certain extent it is from a let's keep it active perspective, but like the actual physical adjustment, at some point in time you'll reach a place where your body is like, okay, that's cool, that's good. So once you're there, just hang out there and that's perfect. This free arm, we'll take it up top, so bicep kind of closer with your ear, bend it, and see if you can match your fingers, right? And then allow this left elbow to kind of hit down closer to the floor. If you can manage to get your head kind of on top of your left forearm, you might be able to give yourself a good tricep stretch as well. Like I said, it's weird. I don't always find a good stretch for this one. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In terms of the quality of the stretch, I should say. And really allow yourself to breathe here. Focus on your breath. Focus on allowing your breath to do a lot of the work for you, right? So a lot of it right now is just hanging out. And we can hang out in a very tense and tight fashion. We can also hang out breath by breath in a slightly softer fashion, breath by breath, right? So on your inhale, take in all that oxygen, deep, full breath. And on your exhale, see if you can just soften, right? Especially if you note any places in your body that feel particularly tight. And it's interesting, just in stillness, even though this particular stretch emphasizes, our right shoulder, sometimes it is the case that tightness there lends itself to tightness in your legs. Just almost like your legs are like helping in a defensive fashion to stay tight and ready to fight. So if you notice your glutes are tight, which I definitely notice in this position, start to gently soften as well. So we'll do that scan. If it helps to close down your eyes so you lose any additional visual information, so you can focus on how you feel, totally do that, right? Whatever feels comfortable. Start to again soften your face, your brow, your cheeks, your jaw. Soften your neck, your shoulders, your right shoulder, your left shoulder. Soften your chest, your belly, your spine. Your hips, your thighs, tops, backs, glutes. Soften your knees, your calves, shins. Relax your ankles, your feet. Perfect. Slow, slow then. Start to let this left arm go free. And then if your right leg was not bent, go ahead and bend it so you can push the sole of your foot into the floor, roll over to your left-hand side, and then free out this right arm. Again, take on any shapes, any circles, any movement that feels good to you. Or it might be smaller, bigger, faster, slower, and it might be totally different from your other arm, right? And we'll give our arms just a quick rest so that we can continue to open up our hips just a little bit more. Let's bend this right leg up into 90. Push into our left palm. Just lift yourself up a little bit. You flex your right foot, right leg 90. And then from here, we'll take this right arm and just slide it through over to our left. Allow your right shoulder, I guess this is still shoulder, huh? We're closing it this time. Take your left palm, push it into the floor, and give yourself a twist, right? Your spine is very long, nice and long here. Just push, twist, and you'll feel that resistance of your right hip. Nice. And then gently release. Bring your left hand in front. Bring your right hand in front and then square off your hips once again. Bend this right leg up. Point your toes. And we'll take this left hand around. Reach for your right foot. And let's do one where we start to kick. So push into your right forearm, lift, kick into your left hand, and see if you can maybe lift your right knee up off of the floor, open your chest, very similar to what we did in the very beginning. Knee up off the floor, kick your heel away, let your left shoulder get drawn back, kick. And gently release. Switch your arms. This time we'll just do a quad stretch. So bring your knees in a little bit tighter, closer. And then take your right hand to your right foot ankle. All right, you can do this a couple of ways. If this feels more comfortable, you grab from the outside and just pull in. You should feel like a nice little quad stretch maybe. If you can afford to do it, this looks a little bit weird, but you'll go thumbs up in the situation and go inside. So you're going for your arch side. And then you see how your toes are facing up toward the ceiling. You'll do fingers facing up toward the ceiling as well. Now watch my right elbow. I'm gonna lift my right elbow up. This looks very weird. So move carefully, slowly. Our right shoulder is kind of very loose at the moment. So once you lift your right elbow up, your fingers kind of face the same direction as your toes still. You have leverage to push your heel down closer to the floor, giving yourself a nice quad stretch. In this fashion as well. So either arm positioning works, whatever gives you leverage, push a little bit deeper. And then feel almost as you push your right hip flexor toward the floor, you can feel the stretch on your quad a little bit deeper.
And then very careful to come out. Your right elbow will circle back down. Looks a little bit weird. And then gently let that go. Perfect. All right. So let's do the other side hip here. So bend your left leg, so your left leg 90. Flex your left foot. Square yourself up. And even here you might already feel like, oh gosh, I feel something in my hips. Instead of being here, maybe you send your left knee out to the left a little bit farther and you feel a little bit more even in both sides. From here, push into your right palm. Let's take this left arm over to our right hand side. So slide it through and allow your cheek just to rest against the floor, your head to rest against the floor. Maybe you already feel a little bit of twisting, but probably this is more just a little stretch for your left arm. To actually get the twist, make sure again our spine is super long. Press your right palm into the floor. I like to bring it closer to my face and then push, open your chest. And I just love this resistance because one, as you push to get that twist, your hip just prevents you from going any farther. Feels super, super nice with that twist and that hip opener working with each other to go a little bit deeper. As you twist deeper, you should feel that left hip opener go a little bit deeper as well. Twist, twist, twist. Push into your right palm. Use your exhales to soften and push. Good. Gently, gently release. Push into your right palm. Unwind that left arm. And let's bring this left leg squared up. All right. Once you're here, we'll keep this left arm down and we'll bring this right hand up off of the floor. Reach for your left foot ankle. From this place, you push into your left forearm, your left hand if you would like, and then kick into your foot, into your hand. Allow your left knee to maybe lift up off the floor. Kick to find some space, your heel away from your hip. Allow your right shoulder to get drawn back behind you. Use that kick to help pull open your chest, your shoulder, and maybe you look past your right shoulder toward your toes. Good. And gently return. We'll lower this right arm down. Again, you have a couple options. Bring your knees together to touch. You can grab from the, I like totally instinct wants to go inside. You can grab from the outside. This should be pretty accessible from the outside. And then just pull from here. See if you might be able to give yourself a nice little quad stretch. And I think if you're standing, this is like the natural way. Yeah, I'm like picturing it. Yeah, if you're standing and doing quad stretch, this would be like the natural way to do it, right? Grab from the outside and pull from there. You can also try the arch side grab. And again, this shoulder thing will look a little bit funny, but your fingers face up toward the ceiling. Your left elbow starts to rotate up. And you see this is kind of a big rotation for your shoulder. So take it easy, see what happens, and then push. As you press your left hip flexor into the floor, roll over so that the top of your left thigh kind of makes its way closer to the floor. You push, give yourself that nice little quad stretch. Good. That's it. One more breath here. Push, push, push. And gently let this left elbow circle back down. Gently, gently free your leg, free your arm, and then return your left arm down. We'll move into frog for our last one. So let's bring our both hands to the floor. Just push yourself up, however works best. And then if you have been on hardwood this entire time, you might want to have something a little bit softer underneath your knees. So we'll just start in this tabletop position. Totally grab whatever you need to grab, a towel or whatever it is. From here, just start to open up your knees a little bit wider, right? In the beginning is all just the tops of our knees, so this does not feel very comfortable, right? But as you start to slide out, you want to flex your foot. We just did one leg at a time, so we're just doing both now. So start to a little bit, like just literally walk one knee out, the other knee out.
And as you move into this, you're just checking for knee, hip, hip, knee in one line. So if we move super forward, it feels quite a bit more comfortable. If we move too far back, probably won't move too far back. Just in the center here. So let me move over to this side. So you just want to double check. You're not too far forward here, not too far back here, just right in the center. And if you want to stay on your hands, totally do that. I personally like to come down to my elbows. And I always mention this, but the incentive here to really work on this hip flexor, hip opener, is one, the more your knees can push out to the sides, the less it's that hard part of your knee hitting the surface of the floor. Right? So less hard on hard. The more you can just push your knees out a little bit farther, and then just take breath, by the way, allow your knees to maybe micro bit push out. The closer you are to that fleshy part, the meatier part of your leg, softer part of your leg, which feels a lot nicer and more comfortable. But I will say, like, there's always just like the flip side of things, and I do feel like sometimes when I'm climbing, for better or for worse, I do take advantage of I wouldn't even say my hips are like super open, but they're like kind of open, right? And so like I'll end up like frogging toward the wall. This week I was doing like more chimney stuff, which is something that you like don't get to practice indoors. And all I wanted to do when the chimney got more narrow, because basically you're creating like a cam between like two walls, right? So it's your back and your feet against the other, so you're like in an L shape. But as that chimney gets more and more narrow, you can't afford to do that, so you have to like switch things up. And I feel like as it got more and more narrow, when your legs were like in sort of like a 90-degree or even like a squat position, like a pistol squat position almost, all I wanted to do was like point my knees out to the side and push in that fashion, which I didn't think was like the best thing ever, but it was like what my body wanted to do, and I was like, no, stop it. You have to find other ways. But we'll be here for just a little bit longer. So as with all of these stretches, take advantage of our exhales so that each moment you don't feel like you're just holding a position and waiting for it to be finished. You want to little bit start to soften, start to relax into it. And this is all relative. So relaxing in this position is certainly not the same as relaxing in Savasana. It's all a relative relaxed situation. But just a little bit longer. And again, at any point in time you feel like a little bit too comfortable, you just want to check that your hips are not too far forward. That makes it a little bit more comfortable, but we want to go for just the straight 90-90. All right. We'll just do, let's say, 10 more seconds here. So breathe into it nice and easy. Soften into it nice and easy. Continue to flex your feet. Continue to soften your hips. 3, 2, 1. Good. Just to come out of it, replace your elbows if you were on your forearms with your hands. If you're on your hands, go ahead and just shift your body weight forward to bring one knee in, the other knee in, one knee in, the other knee in. Take your time, take your time, take your time. And just sitting in kneeling down position, knees together, feet together, should feel pretty good to square things up. Very nice work today. We'll take a couple closing breaths so you can just relax your arms down however they feel natural. Close down your eyes. Take a full deep inhale. On your exhale, just tuck your chin in toward your chest. Your next inhale, roll your head over to your left shoulder. Continue your head roll all the way back to your right shoulder, chin toward your chest. And we'll roll the other way. Inhale to your right shoulder.
to your chest.